Now is the best time to start a new army, but the only problem is that buying a new army can get expensive real fast. So instead, I'm going to start 3D printing a new army, and it's going to be the best army to 3D print right now. And of course, it is the orcs. The leader for our new orc army is a big mech equipped with a custom mega blaster, currently coming in at only 90 points, which is perfect for what we need. And I'll tell you why that's important in a moment. But first, I need to 3D print him. I am 3D printing him today on my Saturn IV Ultra 16K with Sunlu ABS-like resin, which should give me the best detail as well as giving the model the toughness it needs, because I will 1000% chop this model at some point, going by my current track record. However, there's something you need to know. I'm 3D printing 2 of these mechs, not because I'm going to use them both in my new army, but because I don't know much about orcs, and I actually stole this list from my arch nemesis, who has asked me to 3D print an army for him after I lost a game of 40k against him recently, while he was using, of all things, orcs. So I'm going to be a sneaky git and 3D print his list to beat him next time at his own game. And with the help of this week's sponsor, Flexispot, I am going to be able to print and paint this list faster with this E7 Pro desk and the C7 chair, which they kindly sent to me. I can now paint for so much longer while being more comfortable, because I can set this desk to a custom height, and the E7 Pro can go from 25 inches all the way up to 50.6 inches. So it can be used by people of all different heights. I spend all day sitting at a computer, and I've noticed since using the E7 Pro desk that my body at the end of the day feels fresher, because I can stand and work when needed. This desk is also super strong and sturdy, meaning when I raise and lower this, it isn't going to spill my paint water. It's also capable of holding up to 440 pounds using its dual motor 3-stage semi-C leg structure, and it had no problems in lifting my heavy body up and down in all the different poses I could think of. But the times that I have to sit at my desk now have got a whole lot more comfortable, because Flexispot also sent me their C7 chair. It comes with a lumbar support that adapts to how your spine is when seated, and there is plenty of space in the cushion for all the different seating positions we go through. The chair is super adjustable in the seat depth, the headrest and the height of the chair. But my favourite part about this chair is after working all day, I can pull out this footrest, pop the seat back and get some much needed relaxation. Flexispot is having a massive 10th Brand Day and Memorial Day sale with up to 80% off. So now is the best time to upgrade your setup. They also have free orders now. Use my code YTE7P50 to get an extra $50 off on the E7 Plus, E7 Pro and E7L standing desk, and use my code C730 for $30 off the C7. Click the link in the description to learn more. But resin 3D printed models are a bit different from the plastic ones you buy in a store from a certain company, because they don't come on a sprue, but instead there are supports which we need to remove. But before we can do that, we need to clean the model in isopropyl alcohol. The best way I have found to clean models is a multi-step process. I am first going to dip the parts into some really dirty isopropyl alcohol, which is saturated with resin, because this is always the first thing I wash them with. So a majority of the resin comes off now. I do this because that means when I use my wash station, the alcohol in there will stay cleaner for longer and the machine can do its job easier. Once the wash cycle finishes, I am going to remove the supports from the models. These come off super easy, which is a sign of great supports and great settings for the printer. So this is the ideal scenario. The last thing to do before we can safely handle this model is to cure it with UV light. The wash station that I use also doubles up as a curing station, which is really handy for saving space with all the different bits of equipment needed. I'll leave a link to everything I use in this video in the description in case you want to grab it for your own setup. I'll also leave a link to my checklist that I use for 3D printing models, which goes into way more depth on what you need, and it goes through 3D printing pretty much step by step. It's completely free to download, but if you do get some use out of it, I won't say no to a tip. Now we can get this model onto the hobby table and put it all together so we can paint it. To build resin models, you will need to use super glue instead of plastic glue, and this craft pots glue is something I've been trying out recently, and it's great value. It's cheaper than Gorilla Glue and you get more in the bottle. I 100% recommend it. I really want to make my bases better for this army, so I'm going to cut up some cork that I got from IKEA and use some of this dark earth diorama stuff that I have had for so long now to make the cork that I have just placed look less like cork. To help make the base look even better, I am also going to stick some epic basing bits that I have 3D printed a while ago into random areas. Remember earlier I said that it's important that this mech only costs 90 points on the tabletop? Well, that's because I'm currently doing a slow grow challenge, which means I'm not allowed to 3D print more of my army than 500 points until I have painted it and played with it, because my pile of shame is ridiculous right now. Other brothers in the Discord are also following along with this challenge, which, by the way, if you want to join the Brotherhood, get links to the models I use in videos, and get access to possibly the best Discord in the universe, then join the Patreon by clicking the link in the description below or scanning the QR code on screen. To paint this big git, I'm going to have to prime him, and I am going to use my airbrush because I find it to be the handiest way to do this. And also it's just easier for me. I'm going to first prime him in all black. Now I'm going to use some white ink and do a zenithal highlight, but only on really specific areas because a lot of this mech is covered in metal, and painting metal over white makes it look washed out. Now this could all be done without an airbrush, by the way. I'm just using it because since I started 3D printing my models, I could actually buy one and I want to get better at using it. I'm going to use this green for the orc skin as a base layer, and I'm not too worried about any overspray going over the other parts in the model because it will be covered up later. While I have this green in here, I'm going to get a quick highlight onto the skin by adding a drop of yellow and spraying it in the highest parts. Some of the skin is in contact with metal, and I don't think even orc skin would like that, so I'm going to mix some red into my green mix to give it a bit of life, but also show some irritation. With the skin done, I am now going to use dark steel on all of the metal parts that won't be black, because my boys are like me, and they are goths at heart. So I'm going to keep as much as I can black, but I also am going to pick out some areas and things with copper just to break it all up, because otherwise it will just all look the same. For the custom blasted jars of energy, I am going to use this blue. I am also going to pick out some areas in red because that's another color goths like, which is oddly the same as me. Maybe I actually am a goth orc. Now it's time for the secret weapon, oil washes. I'm going to use this green for the skin and dilute it down with this zesty oil thinner. You could use white spirits, but this stuff smells a lot better. For the rest of the model, I'm just going to be using a black and brown oil wash that I have pre-mixed for using on pretty much all of my models. The day I run out of this will be a sad day. Once the oil wash is dried, I'm going to use some little Q-tips and sponges dipped in white spirits to remove the excess oils and bring some of the color back. I'm going to do this lightly so that I can leave the oils in the creases and crevices. I think the black looks great, but the pants sort of blend into the armor. So I'm going to use some Payne's Grey oil paint and just put a little bit on, and then with a separate brush, pull the paint around to create an easy blend, which makes it look like I put a lot more effort into this. To highlight the model, I'm going to use a mix of green with more yellow, and I'm going to only use this on the highest and sharpest areas of the skin. For the mouth, I'm going to mix some pink into the mix just so it looks a bit more alive. The black is going to be highlighted with pale grey blue mixed with some black just to bring it down a little bit. For the red parts, I'm going to highlight them with orange, which will help keep them vibrant. To highlight the metals, I'm going to use the silver from Vallejo, but it's a very liquid paint, so I have to dab it onto a paper towel before every highlight. With the final details picked out, this is the leader for our new Redemption army completed. No longer will I lose in a game of 40k with this guy. However, now that I feel the sense of accomplishment completing this model, I do now have to print out the rest of the army. But maybe orcs aren't your thing at the moment and you want to 3D print Space Marines. Well, I recently done a video about comparing plastic versus resin Space Marines, and you will definitely want to watch this video next. As always, I just want to give a huge thanks to all my Patreons and channel members, because without your support, none of this is possible and you're all legends, and I'll see you all in the Discord.